about in here. Get your tea. Chat with me. What you been up to? What you do? What I do? What I'm doing? What you reading? What are you creating? What kind of tea are you partaking? Having some hot tea with honey. Tina Ballet here. Let's update. Let's chit chat. Let's have a bit of tea. I'm having some tea with honey, some hot tea with honey. Hopefully it's still hot. Let it steep. Let me check it. Whoa, it is so cooled down. It's not hot tea anymore. It's warm tea. Mm, it's warm tea now. All right. So as I drink my warm tea, let's chit chat. I've been thinking about you all. Thank you so much for your support. I didn't do a live stream yesterday. I'm not even sure when the last time I did it. I don't even know. Um, I don't know. I didn't do one yesterday just because the meter hadn't moved. You know, since the last time I told you what I was up to. So now that the meter has moved, I figured, well, yeah. Now that we'll just leave it at that. Now that the meter is moved, here I am. I could have came on and told you guys about some things that I saw, but yeah. Uh, Today the meter moved. I did something. I did a new thing, and glad I did it too. So I had like a an ottoman that I had some clothes on that I had washed, and needed to go through them and fold them and separate them. And I had some items that needed to be sun kissed and or sun bleached, and get rid of some items. So and cut up some items. So I really wasn't feeling doing all that in the house. I really felt like going outside and being outside. So um, the last time I spoke with you all, if you're up to date, um, I had told you all that I was working on the details of the reading nook. So I'm working on the details of a reading nook. So everything major is set in place, just like the details need to be cleared away. So one of the major details was the clothes on the ottoman, the wash clothes that had gotten accumulated, and I wasn't feeling folding them up in the house. So like maybe few days went by. I'm not even sure. I just knew I needed to get this done, and I just really wasn't feeling it. So I had the bright idea to, hey, take the clothes outside and separate them outside, separate them, fold them, uh, sun bleach the things you have to sun bleach, set them out, cut up what you need to cut up, all of that. Do that all outside. Take it all outside. Since you like being outside. And I was like, I sparked up like that. I sparked up. I was like, okay, I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling it. Like, I really wasn't feeling it prior to that aha moment of taking the items outside. I mean, like, before I had that aha moment to, hey, take the clothes outside, I was really feeling like, get somebody else to do it. I really, literally was feeling like, get somebody else to do it. Like, really, like, I'm not, I was not feeling it. Like, I knew it had to be done, but I was at my end, like how people say my wits end. Like, I wasn't going no further. Like, I felt like I did enough. Like, I'm done. I felt like I needed help, so I felt like somebody else needed to do it. And then I was like, hey, take her outside. It's in a basket. I had a basket up here, and I had some like bags. So I put them in the bags, like the reusable bags. Yeah, reusable. So put them all in there, took them outside, sorted them accordingly, cut up what I needed to cut up. And it's a good thing I took that item that I needed to cut up outside, because it had a bunch of after it got cut up, it had a bunch of loose fabric that was falling from the pieces that I had cut up. So I was able to shake it out outside and put it in a bag to be washed instead of having that stuff on my floor. Uh, so yeah, change the scenery. But what you got to do now? I like that. It worked. It worked for that task at hand. It worked. I got everything sorted, cut up, folded. Um, Took my time, enjoyed being outside. Had my shoes off in the grass. So yeah, it all worked out. And then I brought everything back in, um, and put everything, sorted everything. So the weather permitted, and there was a cool breeze from the dew on the grass. Like, the dew on the grass stayed longer, it seemed, yesterday. It seemed like, now, I don't know. I thought the dew would dry away around, I don't know, maybe 11. I was thinking maybe 10. 10 maybe. Whenever that sun come up and out, I would have thought the dew, would be gone like previous days. I thought I experienced the dew being gone. Now today, it seemed like the dew stayed all day long. I was outside from like, I don't know, 10 something till after, wait, till what? I don't know, 3 something or 4 something. And it seemed like the dew stayed outside all that time. which gave a cool breeze. It kept me cool, so it was great. Like I was out there. I even sat on the grass, and the grass was dewy. Even though it was dewy, it wasn't so wet that it was uncomfortable. It was just very cool. So when I touched the grass, it was cool. And I actually I was sitting on the grass without anything up under me, but it felt a little too wet. Like not too wet, but a little too wet. So I did sit on something to get a little barrier um, in between me and the grass. But that was excellent. It was like, here you go. We like, you like to sit outside. So here's some cool air from the dew, and here's some cool grass to keep you cool. Because you're going to be out here for hours. Because, yes, I like being outside and leisure, enjoying the sun and things like that. I did not feel like being in the house doing the indoor task, so I took the indoor task outdoors. And yeah, I had someone told me like not to fold clothes in the house anyway because it creates dust. Like when you popping the clothes and shaking the clothes out, that lint from the clothes creates dust in the air and gets on your furniture and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, if you don't want that in your house, you could fold your clothes in the garage. But today I did. I folded the clothes outside. It was very enjoyable. Everything got done uh, that I set out to do. With the items on the ottoman. Um, so yeah, that's just a bit of like what's going on in the book nook, the reading nook. Um, Trying to think what else. There may be. I don't know. I don't know what's coming up next. I had the little latch thing that holds your curtain rod up. I had that to fall under or behind it's behind something. It's behind a shelf type of situation, TV stand, and it fell down in between the wall and the TV stand. So I have to move some things to be able to move that and get the curtain rod, the I don't know what you call it, the latch that holds the rod together or holds the rod up. I have to move some things around so I can move that and get that from behind from behind the TV stand. And I'm not sure where it's gonna go. So, in addition to the reading nook, it's like a bit of decluttering as well going on. So, there's a bit of decluttering happening. So while I was working on uh, Nook, the reading Nook prior before today, I was doing something in the reading Nook, moving something around. I think I was looking for something. Oh yeah, I was looking for my backpack so that I could get my cord out of there for my. And speaking of, where is my cord? Uh, fudge. I'm trying to keep my cord to where I know where it's at. I was keeping it in my backpack, and then I didn't know where my backpack was because I had moved stuff around to uh, design the reading nook. So my backpack got covered up, and then I located my backpack, and um, I was getting a cord out of it for my portable washing machine. So as I was that the same day? No, that was a different day. No, well, yeah, it was a couple of days I was looking for my backpack. So while I was looking for my backpack, the day I didn't find my backpack, I turned on uh, season 7 of The Circle, and it started off like, eh, yeah, this is kind of how I thought season 7 was gonna go. Yeah, mm. And then as I'm, doing it, I put it on like background noise to just to have something on while I was uh, rearranging stuff. So then my ears kind of start going perking up, like, oh, what? And I started getting into it. I started getting into The Circle. So the first episode, it was some stuff being said, and I knew, or I'm glad to see um, one of the, I don't know what you call them, contestants. I It seemed like he was gonna be voted off, but I was like, they better not vote him off for that. But yeah, it's good to see he made it through to the next episode because I'm like, please don't vote him off like for that. But I'm glad he got to share his experience, and yeah, so it seems good. It had a bit of a surprise, so I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So it's it's by the second episode, it's captivating. But however, I hadn't jumped in and started watching it like I did the other season. I just took it one episode at a time. It's like okay, it's enough. Like I think I think I watched one. I don't know. I don't think I've watched an episode in its entirety in one sitting. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I'll stop it and then I stopped it and then I like went back to it the next day. So it's like I'm not really into it like I was the other seasons, and that might be because um, I don't have my watch partner like I had. I had somebody actually suggest this show to me, so I wasn't even watching it. And then here comes somebody um, experience say, "Yeah, this show." So I watched it and it was good. And then I think I watched season 6. I don't know if she watched season 6, but I watched season 6 and enjoyed it. And then I'm like, Experience, where you at? And then she like, girl, I don't think she's watched it since season 5. I think that's what she said. So I'm like, oh, you got me over here watching this. I'm not watching this no more. So, but yeah, season 7's available, and if I watch it, I watch it. It's really just I'm really just enjoying it when I do enjoy it. When I do watch it, I watch it. So it's like it's so opposite from how I was watching last season. I guess it's because I have my my books now. I'm working on my reading nook, so it's like different priorities this season. That's all. Different focus. My focus is different this season. Um, Speaking of books, I just knew I told you all that Love After Midnight was going to be available today. I don't know. Did I say October 5th, or did I say October 4th, or did I say October 8th? I went looking for Love After Midnight by Sister Soldier, and it said that the this title wouldn't be released till October 8th. And I just knew I told you guys the 5th. So I was looking forward to the title being released today. I don't know if titles release on the weekend. So yeah, when I found out, that it was today and it was the 5th, I was like, oh, do titles release on weekends? I don't know. But yeah, I thought I told you guys on the 4th or the 5th. But yeah, now it says the 8th. I don't think I told you guys the 8th. But now it says the 8th. I'm looking forward. I don't know. Why am I looking forward to that book? I don't know. I was looking forward to it like a few years back when I saw that there was a Life After Death book. So now that I've read Life After Death, I'm ready to read Love After Midnight. And it's the third book in the Winter Santiago's trilogy. How did I get into this trilogy? Like, I'm all deep and ready if in this trilogy. How did I get here? Another book suggestion. Somebody suggested I read The Coldest Winter Ever. So yeah, they were saying this is a good book and I read it every winter. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, what? Like, I'm looking for it at the end of the book to say, yes, read this every winter. I'm like, how do y'all come to the conclusion to read it every winter? Anyways, that's how I got here. And I actually had to be coached and guided through life after death. I laugh because the main character, Winter Santiago, was also coached and guided through her life after death. So yeah, I had to be coached through that book. It took some time. Just like the character, just like Winston Santiago. I, it took me some time to get through that book. I had to be coached. I was learning new terms. I was learning new genres. Um, I was comparing and contrasting and analyzing and not so much analyzing. I did a little bit of analyzing after I finished reading the book, but during the book, I compared, I contrast, I, uh, uh, I learned so much. I learned about dark romance. And um, I also read a beautiful review that let me know, hey, it kind of was like a light to be shown because I didn't know where the book was going. I was like, am I supposed to be scared? Am I supposed to be, is this a chastity belt book? Like, what is this? And so, yeah, I went through all of that, read the book for myself. Um, I liked it. Now, winter, like I did share some of my thoughts. I did share some of my thoughts about the book. And I'm noticing as I'm speaking about this book now that she wasn't afraid. She wasn't I don't recall her being afraid. I don't recall her being fearful. I'm not I don't I don't I don't think there was a time when she might have been fed up. I think she was fed up. There was some times when well, not even a bunch of times. It was the one time, well, no, two times that I can see her being fed up, but they were few and far between. I mean, the two times I saw her fed up was closer towards the end of the book, but throughout the book, I don't recall her being fearful, even with what she was going through, what she was experiencing. Like she really took a neutral approach. She oops, spoiler, was that spoiler saying that? I don't know. Spoiler alert. Um, if that is a spoiler, I don't know. I don't know if that's a spoiler. But she really took a neutral approach to her situation. And I'm just like, for me to, say that I felt a bit of fear while I was reading the book of, because I didn't know why. I was like, I don't know what's going on. What is it? What's going on? Uh, Winter was like, she she just went through it. It's like she was like, hey, this the situation. So, and that's what's up. Like she knew to be neutral with what she was going through so that she can experience what how do you say that, the positive so that she can so that she could reap the lesson of the situation so that it could turn out to be a positive experience for her. And I think I'm reflect or what do you call projecting. I'm projecting a bit from the things that I've learned about um, situations. It doesn't matter what happens, it only matters with how you respond. So even Winter says, even Winter Santiago says something to that effect. Uh, yeah, she says something to that effect. As I was speaking, I I could like uh recall what she was saying. It was a bit of that, but not exactly that. What I just said. So yeah, like she knew how to get the lessons and the most out of the situation, and um she did go through what I mean, like she did have her responses, but she realized um her the the repercussion the I'm trying to think. Like, okay, so not I want to say she realized the repercussions of her actions, but then that's I don't know, is that contradictory? Like she did realize the repercussions of her actions, but not in the sense of what it's sounding like I'm saying. Okay? Like um like she found out if she does this, this happens. If she does that, that happens. And if she stopped doing this, this stops. If she continues to do this, this happens. So like she's did her own com, compare and contrast in her experience and learned what worked for her. And uh, yeah, I liked the book. I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. It it wasn't like the first one. It was so different from what I thought it was gonna be. I learned a lot. I learned a lot. And it helped that I was learning about dark romance, even though this isn't a dark romance. Um, yeah, so the romance genre actually helped me to see this book in a different perspective. Dark romance. I had just read not too long ago. Um, whew, my phone kind of raised the hairs on my. So I had just read Legends and Lattes, so that had a bit of a character difference in it. So that like helped me prepare for, but I wasn't prepared though. But it did. Okay, so it helped me because the first time I attempted to read this book, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was what. But after reading Legends and Lattes and learning about dark romance, I haven't read a dark romance yet, but I was searching for some so that I could see what that's about. Um, and hearing what it's about, and um, hearing about fantasy books, which I don't think I've gotten much into it, but yeah, since my reading chronicles, my bookshelf reading chronicles, I've been getting in. I've been hearing about fantasy books and different character type books. I knew and met some authors of some fantasy different character type books. I just haven't read them yet. So I'm starting to read these different genres. Um, Romance books are new to me. Dark romance is new to me. Um, if you see in my on um, my bookshelf chronicles has horror books, horror genre, self help. Um, is that all? I think that's about it. um, I did have the Queen of Hearts on there. Now that's a bit of fantasy, but it's not out there like fantasy books. I don't think. I think Queen of Hearts is pretty tame compared to these other fantasy books. Um, Even though Queen of Hearts is an awesome book, it's an awesome trilogy. Um, but yeah, so these books are different from the stuff that I've been reading, and I'm enjoying it. It's very fun to get these book suggestions and to see and interact with other readers that share their experience with the book. And that's what really get me to open up the book and enjoy it and attempts to capture some of what they've experienced in my own experience. So that's what's been going on. I finished Life After Death by Sister Soldier, and I'm looking forward to reading Love After Midnight because I'm like, do I need to go back and read um, Midnight's books? Because Sister Soldier has books on Midnight, and I'm guessing it's about midnight. I don't know. It could not be about the character Midnight, and it could just be the time on the clock. Um, Midnight has a few books, and it looks like he has a trilogy as well. Because I just looked, because I was looking for the new book that'll be released on the 8th, and I saw book 3 of Midnight, and I'm like, what? Like, what? Okay, now which one comes first? And does he have his own trilogy? Because I don't even know. And then there's another character. I think her name is Precious. I'm not exactly sure. But she seems like she has her own book. I think that's Winter Santiago's sister. I'm not sure though, because I just looked at it, like I just like kind of glanced at it. Um, because I'm trying to see if I'm gonna read all these books. Like, am I really gonna do this? Like, I'm sizing it up. I'm looking. I'm pacing back and forth, looking at these books. Like, am I really gonna take these books down? I didn't know they were a trilogy like that. Um, it would be great to see this. It would be great to see the perspective of Winter Santiago from Midnight's point of view, because I've seen it from Winter. I've seen him from Winter's point of view, and it's almost like she got a crush on him, and he don't even really know about her. So, like, how does he see Winter? Like, I think he might see her as like a legit, like, okay, go on now, legit, like, like, yeah, like, like he might have seen her in passing, or I don't know, maybe she flirted with him, or what. So this is amazing. All these books to be had. So I'm not reading a book at the moment. Right now, it's um, reading the designing. Uh, However, I have been looking at my books like a box of eclairs. I've been looking at my books like a box of chocolate covered eclairs. I've been like, I was like, I'm like, which one am I gonna read first? Like, I don't know. Like, is it gonna be Leather and Larks, or is it gonna be like, am I gonna let Leather and Larks pull me in because it's October? It's October, and I'm like, I hear you. I hear you. You know, you was Leather and Lights was my last book that I added to my wish list. So am I gonna start with Leather and Lights, or am I gonna go all the way back up, which is not a deal. It's not a big deal. But am I gonna go all the way back up to the top of my wish list and read on the lighter side of things? Because I kind of feel like Leather and Lark is in the dark. Like this how I feel. This how I feel because it's dark romance. That Leather and Lark is in the dark. Like I don't went somewhere and it done got dark. Like, hey, girl, this ain't what you want. But do I go all the way back up to my top of my wish list and start reading this begin I think it's called This Begins With Us, or This Could Be Us. I think it's called This Could Be Us. This Could Be Us. Yeah, I think it's called This Could Be Us. Um, and then another book is called Before I Let Go. So with those two books, I'm like, okay, so which one do I read first? I have to look at them closer and figure out which one came first, or can I read them in any order? So I'll be looking at closer to them to see if there's an order to those two. So those are the two that I like. One, out of the few that I added, those were like the first ones I added. Uh, this Could Be Us and Before I Let Go, and that was kind of like um, autumn. No, like end of the summer books. And I'm trying to think when I added those to my wish list. It was, I don't know, was it the end of the summer? It, was it autumn already? Mm-mm. It could have been like right at the end of the summer, but right before autumn. I added those, and now that autumn's here, I'm like, uh, I've gathered, several books since then. So what I'll do is I'll just, look at which one came first with This Could Be Us and Before I Let Go, and see which one of those I'm gonna read. And yeah, I'll do that because I got into the romance novels that uh, for that for enjoyment, for happy, for seeing couples enjoy each other, like happy books, happy fun books. Um, I'm trying to say, I'm trying to say, like, yeah. Uh, Yeah. Uh, and I don't know what Leather in Life is. I think, I think, I think that might need to be a last book I read. I need some. I feel like I need training wheels. Um, like these first romance books are gonna be my training wheels. You know, I get in, I read them, I enjoy them, cause I don't know exactly what I'm gonna like. That's why I chose to get a variety of romance books. I didn't know it was so many different genres of romance. So I did my best to get at least one book of each genre of romance. So I got a couple of the same genre with some of them, like the lighter romances, like the summer romances and the autumn romances. So right now I have a variety. I have some summer romances, some curvy girl romances, some autumn vibe cabin and romances. Um, yeah, got different types. So now I'm working on the Nook, reading Nook, and getting ready to enjoy all these books. In addition to the books I already have on my bookshelf, I hadn't forgot about those. I have listed them in the description box. They are on the apocalyptic side. 1984 is Apocalyptic. I was told that was a suggested book. Um, Also, I wanted to put on my list, and it's in my mental list. I don't know if I put it on my physical wish list, but I am recalling it every time I mention 1984. Um, and that is I Am Legend. I wouldn't mind reading that book, um, which I think I've read it before because I knew about it already. I'm like, I know a lot about this book. I think I've read this before. So yeah, I may have read that book already. Also, I entered a giveaway that may be available to you all as I speak. I did post it. I did repost and shared. Um, there's some books being given away by Sue 101, and I entered to win. It's a couple of Stranger Things, a couple of Stranger Things books, and I just looked at her post. I just looked at her picture, and I thought she was saying, just by looking at her picture, I thought she was saying that she was reading those books before I read the caption. So I went and I put the books on my wish list, and then I went back to the post to read the description, and it was a giveaway. And I was like, oh, okay. So I entered the win, and yeah, so I have Stranger Things on my wish list, um, as well. So I have a variety. I'm so excited. Like, it's a beautiful variety. And then there's the books that I've chosen. I have on my reading list prior to all of these beautiful suggestions. I have a few dictionaries on my reading list. I have a few mythology books, quite a few mythology books, Chinese mythology, out Irish mythology, um, mythology. Um, I also have a lot of Emily Dickinson's. Is it Dickens or Dickinson's? Dickens. I have a lot of her books on the wish list. A lot. Like for some reason, I collected everything I could find of hers till I was finished. Till I was done with adding her work to my list. So I have all kinds of her books on my wish list. I think I have her biography, her autobiography, her bibliography, her works, her writings, her poems, her stories, and so on and so on and so on. Um, so yeah, that's what I had and have on my wish list um, prior to the wonderful world of romance genre that I've been introduced to, that I've been giddy about. Uh, yeah. Anything else? I think that's it. I did stop myself from looking at book posts. I'm like, no more book posts, please, please. I'm done. Like, okay, like I don't want to say that just because like I would love to be open to more book suggestions. It's just like okay, be there when I finish these books. How about that? Okay, thank you, baby. Like I'm gonna go and enjoy these books because I don't even know how many books I've added. I didn't count. I just scrolled through and looked, and I was just like, okay, not as bad as I thought. Not bad at all. Like, okay, I thought I added more. Like, like I thought I had more. Okay, okay. This is good. This is good. And then I saw my list, and I was like, whoa, I already got a lot, and I got some big books on there too. Like I got a few dictionaries on there, and one of the dictionaries is pretty small. So I'm like, okay, okay. But then there's a couple of dictionaries. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of big. Excuse me. So yeah, not exact, not exactly sure how I'm going to go by this, other than maybe I'll split up my reading time instead of reading one book at a time. I was liking reading one book at a time. That's why I did the whole break. I was enjoying reading one book at a time. It's just like I don't know. Some of these books I might be reading just to read them, and then other books I'll be reading to enjoy them. I don't know. That's how it's seeming right now. Like that's how it seems at the moment. So perhaps I can, split the reading time up amongst the books. Like, read a reference book, read a bit of reference book, and then read a leisure book. But it's all perspective, right? It's all per- perspective. I could have said that about the reference books being leisure. Yeah, and that's probably what I need to do too, instead of feeling heavy just because it's a reference book. Like I was interested in the book. That's why it's on my wish list. I was interested. So yeah, change my perspective about the reference books that I have on the wish list. Not sure when I'll be adding Harry Potter. That's in the future. That's in the future. The books I have in the description box, those are now. Um, well, not right now, but they would have been right now. But yeah, I done found out about romance. They were on the table first, and then I found out about romance, and then I'm like, y'all sit right there for a minute. Let me go holler at Shouty over here. Hey, how you doing? So, yeah, I'm enjoying reading and being amongst people that enjoy books as well. Uh, and and sharing experiences with these books. I wouldn't mind reading some other books that I have read. Like I wouldn't. I gotta find it though. I have to find it. You wouldn't. It, can you imagine? Like it's some books with certain titles that have like there are like over 10 different books with the same title but a different author. So you got to make sure you know the author to get the right book that you would like. Um, so yeah, that's all now. I'm really just like the just sitting in my new reading nook, looking to see what to be done next as far as getting it all spiffy and things, and when and what book to read next. I really wanted to start a book today, um, and I just didn't know which one. So I was like, should I let the people decide? Because I kind of really was feeling leather and light, but I know why. It was just because I was exhausted from my book search, all of my book search. All the book search was like, whew, it was fun. It was a whirlwind. It was spinning round and round. It was literally a whirl. It was fun. It was fantastic. All these people just here, read this one, read that one, read this one, read these. Because I have I have at least I want to say I have at least one series on my uh wish list, but I probably have a few series on my wish list. Um, one of the series is a thorn of roses, a throne of a throne of roses. I think it's called a thorn or a throne. I didn't look hard at it because I haven't started reading it. I just saw the suggestion and went to put it on my wish list. So, that's how I was grabbing up these books. I would see the suggestion, see some reviews of it. Um, I saw a couple of posts and would go and look it up and put it on my wish list. That way I wouldn't have to recall it anymore. So I know, like, my wish list is a safe space. Like, my wish list is base. I get the books to base, and I'm safe. I don't have to think about it anymore until I go to read it, and then I'll, get acclimated with all the information that, and when I begin reading the book. So yeah, that's how I was collecting the books. Like, oh, look at it, go look it up. Make sure I get it on my wish list. And yeah, so yeah, that's how I was collecting books. And sometimes I wouldn't collect it right away. So there was that. Like, sometimes well, especially like the first time. Like, if I saw it the first time, it was first post, maybe even first time hearing it, especially like the beginning parts, like before I started looking up dark romance, like just romance or just like spicy or something like that. If I was just looking up spicy or romance, I wouldn't look it up first unless it was spicy. Now, I had already collected a few spices. One of them, two of them being Before I Let Go. I heard that was spicy, and This Could Be Us. I heard that was spicy, so I put those on there. And then when I kept searching for other stuff, then I saw and then actually it's some books on my wish list that I added a few times, like a couple of times. I'm like, oh, I've already added it to my wish list. I did that a few times. So that's when I knew I was about finished looking for books after seeing and the books like a few times, and I've already added it. So yeah. Right, okay, so I guess this is my third time seeing this book, and I each time I went to add it to my wish list. So that must mean I like saw it more than three times, or really was paying attention. I really was paying attention. So I've gathered. I don't know how many. I haven't counted. I don't know if I'm gonna count them off top. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna be a new book challenge or what. Um, right now, I'm close to the end of the book challenge I've got going on. I guess I'm taking this time to chill. Uh, since my book challenge said that I was like 6 books ahead of schedule. So, not reading this week. I think it's been a week now since I haven't been taking it easy. Saying as how I'm 6 books ahead of schedule. I'm like, okay, fine. Work on book, this book nook. Um, yeah. Let me know what you all would like to read, what you've started reading, what you plan on reading, because that's really what, uh, and it could be pattern books as well. I do have some pattern books in the bookshop, and that's really how I started to read like I'm reading. I mean, I've been like reading. It's just I made it a more of a priority instead of a leisure. I used to look at it as a leisure type thing. Uh, but I also used to be an avid reader as well. So like I read leisurely, but depending on the book, I would read every day. So yeah, and then after reading every day, then it was more leisurely, like maybe every weekend I would read, and um, then yeah, I saw that I could read more than just the weekend, so I started diving into the books that you see on my bookshelf, on my bookshelf chronicles, and even some of the um, requested books I've read. Now, I haven't added them to my bookshelf chronicles. Do you think I should add them to my bookshelf chronicles in addition to putting them on the requested list, or take them off the requested list and add them to my bookshelf chronicles? Because I did read them. What should I do? Because I'm like I don't know. I kind of feel like since I don't have them on my bookshelf chronicles, I'm not giving myself credit that I read them, even though I did read them. Or does it not matter? For example, I have Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddle on the request bookshelf. Um, those were two suggested books that I read, and I read them so fast that they barely sat on my bookshelf. Like they were on my bookshelf, but like for a day. They were so I read them things. I especially Done and Dusted. I I read that book so fast. Like I almost read it the same day, and then I almost read it the next day. I think what happened was I think I either read it the next day or the next day. So like I put it on my bookshelf. It might have sat on my bookshelf for like a day, and then the next day I read it. And it's because it might have would have said on there. Uh, I don't know exactly, but I saw someone enjoy that book, so I went to get it and got it, and then I let it sit, and then I don't know. It seems like I saw another post about the book or something to remind me of the book. Something happened that I was reminded of the book, and then I went to read the book because I'm like, oh yeah, I got this book, and I read it, and then after that, I read Swift and Saddle. So I thought that was the beginning of a, a good pivotal turn to see how books can be picked up and read right then and there. They don't have to sit on the TBR pile for years and months before they get read. They actually can be read sooner than later. So I did enjoy experiencing reading the book sooner than later. Um, a lot of these books are about to be read sooner than later. I mean, these books, some of these books been on my list for months. Okay, maybe the ones in the description box for months, and there's a few other ones for months, but some of them were on my list for years. And that was the Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts was on my list for years. How many years? Maybe um, 5 years, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I stopped counting. Uh, maybe I don't know. I, I stopped counting after one. It was on my list for at least 1 year. Uh, and it's finally read and enjoyed. I finally read it. And I finally got to enjoy it. It's a beautiful book. I almost think about that book, that trilogy every day. I thought about it yesterday. I'm trying to think how and why it came up. Oh yeah, I know why. Uh, because I was thinking about the true heir to the throne. Yeah, I was thinking about the true heir to the throne. Like, wow, it dawned on me who the true heir to the throne was because I was thinking about like why why did the Queen of Hearts act in disarray when she realized what she did. I didn't quite get it. I mean, the situation I guess called for it. That's how I felt about it. Like I'm like, okay, I guess you tripping like that because of what happened. But then just contemplating back on it yesterday, I was like, okay. I got an aha moment. Like, it was something that was said in the book as I was reading it, but it was illuminated yesterday through thought as I reflected back on the book. So I like that trilogy so much. I might have waited over a year to read it, but it's a good book. It's a good book. I love it. It's like I liken it to a well created, a well crafted deli sandwich. Can you say sandwich if it's deli? It's well crafted. It's deli style. The best of the best bread, and then you got your insides and things like that, and then you got the other side of the bun and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, well crafted. All three books. Like you gotta have all three books. You got to read all three books. Like I went to the store and I got the middle book. I didn't know that it was a middle book that I know of. Um, Maybe if I did know, no, I didn't know. And when I got it home, I realized it was a middle book. So I went get the first book and the third book, and I'm so glad I got the first book and the last book because had I read that book by itself, Lord, I don't think I'd be so enthusiastic about the book because the trilogy reads like a full story. It flows like a full big book. Like this could have been one big book, but it's cut up into segments, and the segments are conducive to the title of the book as well. So, I mean, there's that. And yeah, like the first book was, excellent, excellent topping, whatever, however you want your deli style. I don't know. I don't eat deli style sandwiches. It just seems like this is like a deli style type of trilogy. Like your well crafted sandwich with your drinks and chips and everything. And it's like you, that comes with a whatever you want. That comes with your drink. That comes with chips, right? Like I had the middle book. I didn't know this came with drinks and chips. I didn't know you get that. You know, but excellent trilogy. I'm so glad I got the first book and read the first book, and then the second book and the third book. I read them in order. And I'm so glad I did that. Uh, Thank you so much, Colleen Oakes, for the Queen of Hearts trilogy. Uh, I do have another book. I don't know. It's not. It didn't make it to my wish list, but there is another book that I had. That I had at least a year ago, but I didn't locate the other books. It was a book of series, and I think that I don't know if it was the first book I had, or the second book, or the last book, but I tried to read it without the other ones. And I don't know. I don't think I got it. Like it kind of felt like I was missing something. So I didn't continue reading it. I don't know what it's called right now. It had a pretty cover. It was a blue cover with white letters and white outlines of think of a tree with the owl on it, and all of it was in white stencil. Might have had an Eiffel Tower stencil in the book, and it was magic. And I think it was about a school that this character was attending. I think they were returning. Inside the book was right now. It's kind of coming back to me. It perhaps will come back. Is that the title? So yeah, I didn't make it I think some of the words were in a different language because one of the characters were learning a different language. I think that's what's going on. So maybe so yeah, that is the update. You can let me know how you where you fold your clothes at. Do you fold your clothes in your garage or in the house or outside? Where do you fold your clothes? And do you notice dust? Do you notice uh, the difference in dust levels folding your clothes in the house after you uh, shaking them out? Um, also, how do you, what do you do completing your tasks? Do you listen to music? Do you turn on TV for noise? What do you do? Or do you just do your tasks without any music or noise? Let me know in the comments. Let's see if there's anything else I made recently. I made this thing.